Angelo Badalamenti. And he say, oh, that's it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Angelo. Oh, that's turning my hair down. I love that. Just keep that going.
Angelo Badalamenti.
Angelo Badalamenti.
Guten Morgen. Isso. Por sempre. And Lynch, it's February 28th, soon totally the last, it's the last day of this February 2025, it was last Friday, this is February 2025, eh? David, Mr. Lynch, can you hear me from here? He goes, and if he can believe it's a Friday once again. It's a Friday once again. Here in Naples. see totally clear, except from some little clouds where it's general totally clear, it seems totally clear, scanned in general, so seems to know. It's really often practically there 14 and 15 minutes, 16 and 16, so this means it is really good, this is in fact the goal is practically to also interpreters in questa cosa, si rappresano per noi magari il laboratorio, questo laboratorio scende su così, I'm sure that si vedono così non più presenti, al suo stesso intanto, per cose perché to Chinese, it's better, no, perché se non che sono better for me, I didn't listen to medical operation, also for the spring esame, in fact the spring non è un software, per esame, aggettivo, sono dai sostanziali classificati, classificati di questi, attraverso questa figura significa studio vengo bene, vabbè, tra così, it's good, very weak, particularly the last 2 weeks, it's really good, but at the same time, thanks to me, I follow the 7 years, this is practically almost middle, this is actually or better 2 points, starting with the middle, but Polish hours, if you want to read, where are little good, because thanks to these points, since 7 years, I always try to find the good and for this, I feel interesting people. Altri also a second aspect, another aspect consists pratically in this in general, anche apart from the steel pastures, and not as remember winter like this is so considerable of the aspects, like the good response, yes, the release in general, for me temporary is good. You can see also the condition situation, so all the sum of all these things are good. I don't know if they have the sensations, for me, about or on this. From well it should I think of nothing because for example think of Polish hours 20 possible. Generally people do 8 showers, but I don't this depends on them. Still matter to see day. Still matter to see day. I don't know if I can say anything just before it's just a good but perhaps not too completely. In fact can be it's a Friday once again and as you know as a Friday first of all I shall remember this. Of the respectively the third red and fourth blue, both white, red and white, blue and white resource, no reports, and practically since some months I'm using the buff. I believe that the third creation instead was on a battery problem, and since that moment I'm using the buff, and so practically since that moment an half. Almost all the bird with the blue the fourth, but also an half of the bird with the fourth, and the other half were in all the other parts with the red the third. So for me it's good, this in general is a good thing that both work go. Yes, I repeat for these that are respectively the third red and fourth blue, red and white, blue and white, red and fourth resource, not the story of the reports in general. For these it is my fourth channel, nel quale stavo organizzando il report di Vinci, istantanamente posso considerare la mia saccando con Brice, tipo una conoscenza su ma ci faccio mettere di seguente music, sarà molto esperienza, posso fare off reci per ricreato. E di FL2, finché il trend partecipanti di ISA, e ripeti suggesti for 16 fan and 16 issues. Altra, l'importante di questa atmosfera, si sta anticipati. Before 2 years in ISA. Non si accorteni, non si non si ripete instantaneamente, non si accorteni in genere, ci siamo most perfect, triste suppose, in fact, se non si ripeta, that's the moment I was cleared. As you always see, there are also these clouds, in fact, at the moment, seems moment we are going to non if totally, but mostly cloudy sky in atmosphere. And think later it also could be, but at the moment it is truly a remote possibility. The solution is visually intelligence of wizards. So we see, need to create a second scheme. Yes, very clear. Well, bad at wrong. Bad well, or the contrary, bad well. So si dice. quindi l'unica versione senza te crei corti senza se tu praticamente quanti versi fa se non di cui in sentence with in quote because so sotto logo fa che I we are read it di corti ridi senza point years and also si più effettivamente also in Albania minute also know it's better visible in sentire for me nel 18 secondo me generation se cari che non riuscito a essere attivissimi per prendere cortini su c'erano visibili su significa che sono metti di sentire il 18 significa che si considera generation. And finally, from medieval cable magic 614 APG 625 also indicated in the shot. Still the people from the channel. But as I like it, sono good my sister, but also to myself, trust my skills. And finally, I hope you will get some breakfast. Today it's really late, also for mass, for late for mass. The one part is to fare foto le cose accese per the stream to the start in fact breakfast it's family late. I started with the fentanyl, I tell me it is if to the yesterday to think at the record sembra che su research. Ora tu ripeti, really close. Anzi, guarda, Diego Astroni, nipote, fortine fiffitine. Fatta, l'important thing that she was remember that in some way also today, fortunately with the song. I'm really angry. And as we always say, e che fa si sono mosso il singolo sta finora? Absolutely. As well, since a few weeks from the shots, my favorite biscuits, particularly. And I would say already two things. The first one is about the milk factories and shot in tolerance in it the coffee to così. Also quick chocolate factory che notate from the shot fragment in the shot. And we did this also the fact that Nikolaj as a breakfast was one bomb at particular this of the last week's mega bomb. The second thing is about the series fact and if they're beautiful series that are one of the Italian series. For me this is the second place or position because at the first place or position there are Palm Italian series. In fact I really recommend them because they are really superb. Anzi, tomorrow I suppose, if not today, in fact I don't know until tomorrow to happen. Ma guarda, sì.